Alright guys, I'm back, and in this video I wanted to go over what is the best arrow setup if you're just an average hunter. So we all know the debate about the big mechanical versus fixed blade and heavy arrow versus light arrow, blah 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 blah. I think the biggest thing that gets left out of these debates is that these guys who are debating are these big hunters. They have all year to hunt. They shoot their bow every single day. What they don't realize is most normal people or average hunters that I know at least, don't get to shoot their bow that much. They're not, Chris B, for example. I mean, he's world-class archer. People are not, most people are not that good. So that's a huge factor and is really important when you bring in the argument of fixed blades, because the thing about fixed blades is, well, what if you don't hit where you're wanting? What if you accidentally hit them in the shoulder? So, and as much as I think that everybody should be fairly proficient with their bows, a lot of people hunting are not, and if that's the case, we'll at least give them a good setup so that they can be prepared for the worst. That is bound to happen if you just hunt enough. I mean, it doesn't even matter who you are, it's bound to happen no matter what. So, I'm not going to get super deep into this argument. I'm just going to say that, in my experience, I will never shoot a mechanical broadhead again. I had an experience 2 years ago. I shot a deer square in the shoulder at 5 yards, 72-pound draw, and 29-inch draw length. Shot him square in the shoulder at 5 yards with a mechanical. I got that much penetration. Then last year, my dad shot a buck square in the shoulder with a crossbow with a mechanical broadhead. Square in the shoulder with a crossbow at 20 yards and got no penetration. Brand new crossbow. I mean, really badass crossbow. I mean, it's one of them that you hate to see going in the woods knowing that they can shoot a deer at 100 yards. And he shot it in the shoulder and got no penetration. So anyways, so I would recommend the average person who only gets maybe 1 or 2 opportunities a year at a deer with their bow to get that heavier setup. So last year I personally ran a 560 grain arrow setup. I killed 1 deer with it, and oh, there's some red wasp right here crawling on my bow target. But anyways, I killed a deer with it, and I just thought it was a little bit too heavy. Now, I still don't know yet, because I haven't shot this. This is a 520-ish grain arrow. I'll go ahead and go over what it is. It's an Easton 6.5 millimeter, and it is 30 inches long. I have a 28.5 inch draw length. I have a insert in here, and I have a 150 grain Magnus Blackhornet. I'm not a huge fan of the single bevels, but I do really love the Magnus Blackhornets. They are awesome. So yeah, that is my current setup. And last year I shot a 125 Blackhornet. My arrow weight last year again was about 560. So I'm gonna try this year, and we'll see how it goes. Again, I have no idea. Haven't killed a deer with it, but what I do know is I have shot a mechanicals, and I have shot lighter arrows, and I've even had times where I've hit a pretty good spot, right behind the shoulder, and I've just hit a rib, and it really slows that arrow down, and my arrow doesn't even get a pass through when I'm not hitting like shoulder or anything. And so I'm not a huge fan of that, and that was back when I was shooting a 400 grain arrow. So we're gonna try this out this year and see how it goes. I'm a big experimenter, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I would say the best arrow for your average hunter is going to be between 5 and 570 grains probably. You could go up to 600, but again, I thought when I was shooting 560, 565, I thought that was a little too heavy. I could be wrong. I might prove myself wrong this year. But, I mean, it's as simple as that. You can get a Magnus Blackhornet. I was only able to find one on their website. My local pro shop didn't have any. But they have 150 grains there. And again, local pro shop will get you set up with a good arrow weight. You just tell them what you want. So, yeah, that's what I would personally recommend. Again, I'm not going back to mechanicals. I think you should use a fixed blade. If you only get a couple opportunities a year to kill a deer with your bow, then I think that you need to be prepared for the worst, and don't let that opportunity go to waste because of your equipment. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't recover an animal when in reality you didn't even make a bad shot. Everything could go right. You could hit it right where you're aiming, but the problem is you can't predict how those deer are going to duck and roll. And, they could have just ducked and rolled right into it. You hit them square in the shoulder and boom, you have a mechanical, it's over. You have a light arrow, it's over. So that's the gist of it. That's my thought process on it. I mean, I guess if you're shooting deer at 20 yards consistently and, they're walking around enough to where, you can wait for a broadside shot, then that's fine. But personally, whenever I have an opportunity at a buck, it's usually not a very big window, and I usually don't have time to wait around. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys use, and peace